Today we have a gentleman that he will be, or he is, a speaker at the White House. The person who's responsible to bring him in is Elisabeth Myers. I call her the Rosa Parks of Morocco. This gentleman, his name is Dr. Mohammed. He is an honor for us as all Moroccans, whether we're here or anywhere, to have a Moroccan speak at the White House. And I was always asked, Mohammed, why you come up with these crazy ideas, and people cannot understand what you're saying? I was like, I don't know, maybe I use my sign language and sometimes I get my message across. Some people really, I consider myself to be lucky to even talk to me. One of them is our mayor, Mr. Bilyul, who not only is a friend of mine, but we made a trip to Morocco. We had 10 days. I think we traveled 3,000 miles together. And another gentleman that's, I have to say, I'm grateful, Mr. Gary Flower, next to me right here. And he's gonna tell you a story about my trip with him. But I have a very interesting experience with him in Morocco. Another gentleman that I met through my years of networking is Mr. Christopher Harvin. I'm not quite sure he's here right now, but I want you to get to know him. I also have to say for Mr. Harakat, which is on his behalf, a friend, they will be a really good friend for years to come, Ms. Mohammed Sadri, a journalist from Canada. There are some people over here I have to say, I am so honored and so pleased and so grateful to Yasmine Khayat, who she flew from Morocco to Montreal, to Ontario, and to DC here for 48 hours. Fawzia, which is a journalist, this is the second time, and most journalists that come from Morocco on their own expenses. So I want to thank you for that. An honor, a really honor to me and to a lot of Moroccans. Hanane Idrissi, she's really the voice of the Moroccan woman here in these. And her husband, by the way, he was the only Moroccan who was the ceremonial master of the stamps here in the US. And I also have to say, I'm not quite sure how when I was talking to him the first time through the social network, now I have to believe it. When I first talked to Mr. Tijjini, I told him I have a small event. He said, I'm in. I thought either I'm crazy or he's crazy. And lastly, Dahan, who is a really good friend, he represents the true Morocco, which is, like I told him once, there is no such thing as Jewish Moroccan or Moroccan. You are truly Moroccan, and we are honored to have you here. So I have to say, thank you very much for coming in today. Thanks to Elisabeth. Thanks to Sanat Bikri, who designed all the flyers and graphics. Thanks to everyone who shows up today. Thank you.
And now to get this panel started, I would like to invite Dr. Fatima Hadji to come up to the podium. She's going to be the moderator for these esteemed panelists, which will address media, civil rights, democracy, and US-Morocco relations.
I think one of the beautiful parts about this panel is that they are diverse. So basically, and so you'll get to have this kind of a holistic perspective from each one of them.
When we talk about Morocco and King Mohammed Sadis, Mohammed VI, who actually started a program on day one in 1999, he decided to really transform Morocco. And under his leadership, way before what we call the Arab Spring, he had launched a series of programs that were really a milestone of reforms by starting with the Mudawana and the human rights field in a bid to cement the value of democracy. He set up a consultative Council of Human Rights, which became the national CNDH, the Council of Human Rights. And it's a salient example of Morocco's commitment and determination to make a human rights culture a cornerstone of its democratic transition. It has invested more power in the CNDH with more autonomy and broad prerogative to protect and promote human rights in Morocco, and also to promote the principle and value of democracy. In 2004, Mohammed Sadis established the Equity and Reconciliation Commission, or the Truth Commission, to rehabilitate and compensate the victim of past human rights abuses. The US has criticized Morocco quite a bit on the human rights, and it's in a very unfairly way. You have to look at where Morocco was and where Morocco is, and the direction that the country has taken under the leadership of Sa Majesté. And he was able to really move Morocco in a very delicate situation, political situation and political environment, and kept a very stable, progressive, and economically well-established country compared to any other Arab country. And the human rights from the United States has always criticized Morocco in an extreme way, but I don't think that it was fair, and I think Morocco is moving in the right direction, considering that it could have fallen the same way Libya, Tunisia, Egypt had fallen. So I'm pretty happy with where Morocco stands today.
Thank you very much, Charles. I appreciate it. And if you can please give the microphone to our next panelist, Hanane, please. It's your turn. Thank you.
Talking about the role of the Moroccan diaspora and why I'm talking about, why I alluded to this context and why the mention of the Constitution, because talking about this role, we have also to, is there a role for the, and what is this, what is the framework in which this diaspora is going to take this role? First of all, as a response, yes, there is a role for the Moroccan diaspora to play in these elections, first of all, because the Moroccan diaspora have all the time demonstrated its willingness to play a role and to contribute and to be connected to the country that is Morocco. Second, also because Morocco, and in view of the constitutional reforms that took place in 2011, made a great commitment to the Moroccan diaspora abroad. And when I say the constitution, it means the most important social contract. So Morocco, and in its way, in responding to the demands of Moroccans in 2011, and so also it responded to the demands of the Moroccan diaspora. And we have a constitution that addresses this, and we have a number of articles that do acknowledge the role of the Moroccan diaspora and how they can pro. So we have Article 16, 17, 18, 30, or also Article 163. Article 17, for example, also enshrines the right of the diaspora to enjoy full citizenship, including the right to vote and run for office. And I'd like to underline this article because it relates directly to the issue of elections that we are discussing today. And also Article 18 gives rights to participate, for the Moroccan diaspora to participate in consultative and national institutions. aiming at serving good governance. So the Moroccan diaspora will have a say in a number of consultative institutions in Morocco so that their issues are addressed. And also there is Article 163, where it talks about the role of the National Council for Moroccan living abroad. And it's a council that has existed, but it's also, it is now like in a pending status because it needs to be restructured and reformed with, and pending on a law that needs to be passed. And also, importantly enough, this same article calls on the role of the diaspora in contributing to human and sustainable development in Morocco. So this is the general framework where the Moroccan diaspora see itself as playing a role, and Morocco also see its diaspora playing this same role. In view of this, I'd like to, and after 5 years after the constitutional reforms, what is the status now? And is the Moroccan diaspora playing this role that it should be and that is granted by the constitution? I mean, after 5 years, I think, unfortunately, the constitutional rights are still not enacted for diaspora for a number of reasons. So even if, for example, we have articles that state very clearly that the Moroccan diaspora has the right to vote and to run for office, it is still not clear, and because we don't have any law, we don't have any that organizes and clears the way for the procedure and how it is going to be practiced. And I'm not talking about Moroccans living abroad going back to Morocco and voting. This has been all the time a possibility. If you can go back to Morocco, like on November the 7th, you can go back to Morocco if you are registered to vote and you are going to vote. We're talking about how the Moroccan diaspora from their countries can exercise their vote, because that's what the Constitution is talking about, and there is the gain that the Constitution has granted this diaspora. Unfortunately, many of the rights that were granted in the Constitution, they're still enacted. There are a number of challenges that we can elaborate more on in the Q&A session. But as a temporary solution, the Moroccan government have provided this temporary solution, or that's introduced in 2011, what we call the proxy vote. So you get to choose someone that can go and vote on your behalf. And this has been, I can report that it has been very, very criticized by the Moroccan diaspora, and also by a number of other political and analysts, etc., for a number of reasons. First of all, I mean, but the fact of giving someone else the right to go vote on your behalf is undemocratic in itself, is against the democratic principle of voting, because voting is first of all, the most important principle in voting is secrecy. So it's your vote. You have to practice it in secrecy. You go and you vote by yourself, and also because it is also in contradiction with the Constitution itself, because the Article 30 of the Constitution say voting is a personal and national right. So. And also, many analysts have reported that it is not a reliable mechanism, because it can open the door for frauds, for electoral fraud. I will leave it at this, with this number of challenges that the Moroccan diaspora is facing, and I look forward to more questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hanane, and thank you very much, Charles. I appreciate it. I will hold off my questions and my comments because we have to stop at 3 o'clock. I would like to actually give the floor to Mr. Gary Flowers, who's going to speak about the Black American civic rights and history and the media. So thank you very much, and we will continue afterwards. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon to Mohammed. Thank you, Shukran. I thank you. I am, in my estimation, an honorary Moroccan. I consider Mohammed a brother from another mother. For several reasons. I first visited upon Mohammed's request in 2013, and then have returned on 5 occasions. I've traveled the entire nation with Mohammed, from the Atlas Mountains to the water, down to Akla, to Agadir, over 5,000 miles. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity. I think there's a nexus between the Black American history with respect to elections and the media, and maybe some of the ways that Morocco can use our example. I want to commend His Majesty for instituting the constitutional reforms in the Kingdom of Morocco. And I think that some of the lessons that we've learned in this country as Black Americans can be useful going forward for the kingdom. 3 in particular. It was 1955 when Emmett Till, a young 14-year-old African-American boy, left Chicago for Mississippi. There was some incident, true or not, but men came and got him from his uncle's house at 2:30 in the morning, beat him, tortured him, shot him, put a weight around his neck and threw him into a river. His deformed body was then brought back to Chicago for burial. It was the media, it was Ebony magazine that showed his deformed body in an open casket that then affected the 1960 presidential elections where President John Kennedy was elected. Second point, in 1963, young people, children, were used as marchers and picketers in the streets of Birmingham, Alabama by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These children, instead of being arrested and put in jail, the local sheriff used water hoses and dogs to attack them. But it was Walter Cronkite on CBS Nightly News that showed that to America. And as he did, he opened the hearts and consciousness of those who had not joined the civil rights movement in the United States. And lastly, most contemporarily, it was Ferguson, Baltimore, Charlotte, and other incidents where citizen journalists, if you will, with cell phones, filmed these incidents and then transmitted to the rest of the nation and to the world. And we've created a new movement for civil and human rights here in the United States. And so the Black American experience, I think, could be useful to the Kingdom of Morocco in furthering the work that you've already done toward constitutional reforms. And I'm glad here to represent that. My background was I was a vice president and field director for Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. I was CEO of the Black Leadership Forum, which represents 15 million African Americans in the United States around policy interests. And most recently, I've developed my own radio show, The Gary Flowers Show, in Richmond, Virginia, and live streamed across the United States and the world. So thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you very, very much for your contribution, Mr. Gay. It's a pleasure to have you here indeed. Thank you. I would like to recognize Congressman Albert Wine. He's in the house. Good to have you here. Thank you. And now we're going to move to Mrs. Fawzia Meknassi with her contribution on women and media, and particularly in light of the upcoming elections. Thank you.
The subject that I am going to talk about is about media and women in actual election in Morocco. So what we can say. I would like to remember you the last exhibition that it had in Casablanca 1 week ago. A majority of the video that it was in social media was a lot of them. It was about women, but women in very bad situation. For example, the woman with Hawli. Everybody, yes, see this. That That's what does it mean for me? It means for me many things. That the party are not in the same level that what women's Moroccan women's activists want, and what the king did for the women. And my friend Charles Dahan talked about Modouana, and also the constitution. Modouana constitution gives to Moroccan women very good and very high no. Okay. Right. Yes, very right. But the party, they are still very far about the reality of Moroccan society. They are very far in many topics. What we see now, everything we talk about women in this election, it's about violence. And we can talk about the candidate in Fez, that it was about violence. In the program, the woman that doesn't exist in the program of the party. The coverage of the media of the activity of women in this, the candidate, that it's nothing if we compare about what is the coverage for the men. And also as a candidate, where is the woman candidate in this election in Morocco? That is a big question that I want to ask all the party or the journalists. They are not exist. We have the list, yes, of course. We have the list, we have the national list, we have, this is, the party must have this list. They don't do it because they want to support women. They do it because they have to do it. Yeah. Yes, the quota. So really, as they are very. I know it's in many topics, and also the topics of the women. But just start. I speak just about women. There are very big a gap between what the society, what's the high needs in Morocco, His Majesty the King, the Constitution, the Modouana, but what happened in the ground. The last thing that I want to say, we talk about in the festival, but Morocco was the first country that recognized the United States. My family is very proud about one thing. My grandfather, who was Mohammed Finish, was signed the trade convention between Morocco and America in the King Mohammed bin Abdullah. This is the just. Thank you. So that's I would like to mention this. So very sorry for my English. I do my best. I will try to. Thank you.
You see, Fawzia, you just didn't want to. We love your accent, and they understood exactly what you wanted to say. But to just make you a little bit comfortable, I'm going to tease out some of the major points, or the argument that Fawzia is trying to make is that actually political parties are way behind when it comes to really understanding the reality of women and the women activist expectations, particularly that we're coming out to a legislative election. And that also, that while also women exist in party lists because it is a quota, I don't think there is enough media coverage to really highlight as well the competence and the potential of those women who can be great leaders. And I think that's the main thrust of her arguments. So I would like to say thank you, and I'm glad you spoke in English. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to Miss Yasmine, who's going to actually talk a little bit about the use of social media by political parties to actually promote their image instead of promoting their program. So thank you.
Do you hear me? Yeah, okay. First of all, I'm very, very enthusiastic to share my point of view with all the assistants, with all the audience, and with my co-panelists. I just would like, if you don't mind, Ms. Moderator, to go back to what was said about Moroccan-Americans abroad and the election and their right of vote. Maybe we can push the idea of advanced vote also as a solution to make this vote effective instead of making the direct vote possible. But I would like also to say that between 1984 to 1993, Morocco had five seats in the parliament. 5 representatives of 5 districts, including all the countries where there were a significant number of Moroccans. And I would like to highlight the fact that during this period, even if it's a short period, and even if maybe people will think that 5 representatives is not that much, but during 5 years, if each representative push 5, 10, 50 issues, address 20 questions to the government, maybe they will lead to change or to respond to the expectations of the Moroccan abroad. And that's what happened, because during this period, a lot of proposals was made, and maybe among all these good ideas, the creation of a ministry dedicated to the Moroccan abroad. And I'm really, I'm confident that they will have the right to vote, and they will vote, and they will have representation in the parliament. Maybe before we have to settle down some constitutional and institutional laws that will make the Constitution of 2011 effective in all the ways. And the voting of Moroccan abroad is essential for the growing of the democratic practices in the home country, especially when they're coming from democratic host countries. So maybe they have their own experience to share, but I would like to link this idea with the use of social medias. What is happening now, I see a lot of my friends on Facebook, because maybe I'm a journalist and I'm coming from conventional background. I worked for the national TV station, both Soria 2M and SNRT. But I'm also very, very active on Facebook, on Twitter, and all the social media. And what I notice is that Moroccan abroad is sharing awareness about a lot of issues according to their own convictions. You know, if you are from the USFP, you will share ideas from USFP. And this is good, because they are going to, what they are doing now, instead of having the right to vote directly, because they can also go to Morocco and vote, even if it's a little bit, it's not very, it's not very practical for so many reasons. But they are pushing people in Morocco to vote. I can share with you a lot of videos of Moroccan abroad podcasting themselves, saying you have to go to vote, you have to defend your right, you have to learn more about the program of the representative you're voting on, etc. So this is good in somehow, and there is also a lot of expertise that this Moroccan abroad can share with their home country. But I would like also to highlight what's happening right now in Morocco using these social medias by the political parties. So the format is changing. So the first thing is the using of the Darija dialect instead of using the Arabic classic language, which a lot of people cannot understand, especially also Moroccan abroad, who are, or the second, the third generation, they're not very fluent in classic Arabic, but they understand Darija. So when you have a general secretary of a party speaking on his Facebook, sharing a video, speaking Darija with not wearing a suit, but a gandora, dancing with his stepson, etc. This is something that can, from my perspective, this will help the youth in Morocco to exercise the right to vote, because the last in 2011 only 45% of the population went to vote. But now with the use of social media, I hope that in the next elections we will have a rising of the average of voters. So the using of Darija is very important. The format also, the way that this is not a political, beside a bureau, speaking in a context or speaking, no, now there is a kind of mise en scène of the political fact. There is also a very important point, which is the direct interaction with citizens. So when you have minister or a chief of party who is addressing his audience on his Facebook wall, it's not as he is going to have a speech. It's completely different. The way they use it is completely different, and the citizens are interacting with him. So they keep posting questions, criticizing him, asking him for more. I would like to mention, where can we find your political program? Stop sharing your personal pictures or personal photos. We would like to know more about what are you going to do on education issue, on health issue, etc. So this is good. This is good for democracy in Morocco. This is good for raising the rate of voters. And the last impression, my thought only engage my own, because it is not backed up by any social study or whatever. But I think that what conventional media failed, social media speaks. And this is, for me, the major issue for political parties in Morocco. So you have the conventional coverage, and you have the social media coverage, which brings sort of proximity and sort of truth without any filter. So maybe there is a reverse of a medal. Vous dites ça, le revers de la médaille? The reverse of the medal, the other side of the moon, maybe let's say that this way, but in somehow.
The flip
yeah.
of the coin.
Okay, the flip of the coin. Okay, so the flip of the coin, the flip side of the coin. Thank you, Mr. Durashad. I would like to end up with this, that the truth and the defamation, the barrier or the boundary between the truth and defamation on social media is very tiny. And you can defamate whatever you want, and you can say the truth however you want. No one is there behind to search for the facts, look or try to convert this idea or this information. Is it true or is it false? So this is, from my point of view, this is the main argument, the main issue in using the social media. Okay. And I would end up by a quote of David Lodge saying, every new decoding is a new encoding, which means that objectivity is relative. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Part of my job as well is to make sure that we are on time, and for that I'm going to refrain from asking questions and give the floor to Mr. Tijjini for his contribution, and then we'll have a few minutes as well for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First I will, my English is not very good, so I apologize also for my bad language, my bad English. But I will try to speak some little English because I'm here. I'm very happy to be with you. It's my second time here in USA, in Washington. And I would first thank Mr. Elhajjam and Elisabeth for the invitation to come here and participate with you. Maybe if you can translate
I'll try my best.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
I have to put another hat, but I will try my best. Go ahead.
I would like to talk about the role of media in Morocco, about this legislative election, this parliament election in Morocco in a few days, the 7th October. There will be a legislative, yeah, we say that?
Legislative elections.
Legislative election. And as I'm a journalist, I work in Belgium in Maghreb TV, but I work also, I animate a great TV political show in Morocco on the first network there, SNRT. So I have some experience because I debate with the representative of political party, and I can now talk about 3 media who have a very important role in Morocco. The official media, the social media, and the website media, if I can talk, if I can nominate like this, like that. The official media is the Moroccan television, the official Moroccan television, Dezam, the SNRT, the Oula, the first channel, and Midi Ansat. We have in Morocco now, in the 21st century, we have 3 television, and they are 3 public television. And it's not normal, but it's like this. So that's why social media and some independent media have now a very important role because they occupy the vide, the faragh,
The gap.
the gap, yeah, the gap between what people like to know and what the intent of the population and what is the offer. The public offer is not, ce n'est pas assez. It's not enough. It's not. Sorry, but.
That's okay. I think the main.
It's the first
You're
time.
doing great.
It's the first time that I speak English like this. It's the very first time. My show, my TV show in Belgium and in Morocco is 100% in Arabic language and the Darija and the dialect, And it's the first time that I speak English. So I apologize another time. So that because the public information is not enough. We are saying like this. It's not enough. I don't like to be very criticized because I work there also. And with social media, the information is already in Rabat now. Yeah, in this second. That he worked in our public television and he criticized us. So, yeah, so no television show about it. It's not enough, so it's not good, so we stay in Washington. Stay in Belgium. No, I joke. So because the public information is not enough, there is 2 ways to Moroccan population, the Moroccan public, to have his information or the information that he wants to have. The first is social media, Facebook, not Twitter. No, Twitter doesn't work in Morocco. I don't know why, but it doesn't work. There's no Twitter there. Wait. In Egypt, for example, Twitter is very important in the like social media, but in Morocco it doesn't. I don't know why. But Facebook works very good. Facebook works very good, and you have not only the people who post on Facebook, but now political candidate post daily some news on videos, news on Facebook, because and even if in the press media they talk now about the people of Facebook. It's the people Facebook has critiqued this. The people of Facebook, because of direction of people of Facebook, the government, they change the politics or remove somebody. It's an abnormal nation, but in Morocco, we have now what we call, or what this media calls, the people of Facebook. He have power now. We don't know him, or the blow people, the blow people or people of Facebook. We have this. It's now a part of our media. And 10 years ago, we had in the newspaper, we had 15 years ago, we have seulement? Only, yes. Only the political party press writer, press écrite. Yes? And before 15 years, we have only the press, political press writer. And yeah, partisan media, yes, good. Partisan media. And the 15 years, and still now we have what we call independent media. In the press, 15 years, we have a lot of press independent media, very important. Ils ont fait bouger le champ politique. They check the yes. And now we have some independent press media, not a lot, but we still 5 after the last legislative election. Morocco now a lot of website media. We have some website media, like His Press, who was the first. And now we have, yes, yeah, 1 minute. Yes, we have a digital media, but in the website, they are very structural, and a lot of people goes to see what this website publish it daily, and not daily, every hour, every minute. It's become now a very important source of media in Morocco, and the party knows this important. So now, in this election, we have every party have his media, his digital media, and plus the great party have their satellite website media, satellite digital media. They like they are independent, but they work for this party. We have the first party now, who is the very important party who very knows the importance of digital media, and he invests in this media, is the Islamist party, le PJD, who government now. And the other media try to copy. But the most important party who works in digital media is the PJD, and he win the thing. I think in the social media and the digital media, we have this party, the Islamist party, who he is professional. It's not to criticize, it's just a fact. So, excuse me if you say to me that I have 1 minute. I tried to, if I taught in Arabic, I will be very fast, but voilà, c'est passé. Thank you very much, and sorry.
Thank you for your courage in speaking in English. That's wonderful. I think they did a great job, we must say. So, and I think your main point is that there is a power of social media, because it really fills the gap that is left by foreign media and other non-independent media. So that is the point. So thank you very much. I'm going to refrain from asking my questions, because I would like to actually give you the opportunity to ask the panel any questions. And please, if you have any questions, please feel free and let us know who you are and to whom the question will be addressed. And thank you very much for your. Please also, before that, join me on giving really hands for this wonderful panel. Thank you.
You know, I always told my mom, she's like, make sure that's a woman that always been taken care of, because if you don't do that, then you're really in big trouble. Because of this, women are really important to our society in Morocco, and it's a really privilege and honor to have such a friend like you.
Thank you.
All right, so this is a token of appreciation, Hanane, because I might probably not going to be able to make it for tomorrow. So this is a token of appreciation to say thank you for saying yes, because I know you're very busy. So she's very shy. So this is for you to say thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hanane, this is another thank you to say thank you for coming in today.
All right. Thank you.
This is really a surprise.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to continue and offer, do you have any questions? I still have to do my job. Please. Okay, so can we go by order? So go, second, and third, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yasmine. I'm a CPA. And I have a question for Lalla Hanane. The question is, based on what you said, there is a gap between the written constitution and the constitution that we have on the ground. Could you elaborate on that?
Can we just have a simple process? Maybe we'll take all the questions and then we'll leave the panelists to respond. Please go ahead. Thank you, Asdin. Please.
Thank you. My name is Bill Day.
Hello.
I hope that you will excuse the fact that I'm probably the least knowledgeable person about Moroccan politics in the room, so I hope you'll excuse the question. Smahli.
No problem.
I want to pick up on something that Mr. Flowers talked about, which was the power of the civil rights movement in America. I think nobody who has ever seen the footage of Birmingham can be unmoved. And the movement really showed the power of nonviolent protest to transform a society. It was met with violence. Journalists were met with violence. There were lawsuits that went to the Supreme Court, New York Times versus Sullivan. And to fast forward to Morocco, we saw the protests of February 20th. We saw the protests that followed February 20th. The world was watching as in some of those protests, the security forces beat the protesters. And there are journalists in Morocco who are in jail or are facing jail now for doing their jobs. And so my question for all the panelists is, what today is the power of peaceful protest to affect change still today in America and today in Morocco?
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Please.
Thank you for taking my question. My name is Syed Erekat. I am a Palestinian journalist. I also teach a course in one of the local universities on the role of media in the Arab world. By the way, you said Twitter is not popular in Morocco, so I assumed that Mr. Trump would not have any votes there because he's really a Twitter guy. I wanted to ask you, you said that there are three media, the official media, the social media, and the website media. How accessible is the internet to the public so they can participate and engage in affecting the political process in Morocco? Thank you.
Thank you. Are there, please, go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. First, I would like to thank my dear friend Mohammed Elhajjam and the panelists for your hard work and for traveling from far away. Since I lived when I was young in Morocco, and my father was the first parliament, the thing that I believe to make a sound decision, which has not been addressed, is illiteracy. We have in Morocco poverty and awareness. This is a problem that has not been addressed in Morocco. And I think it needs to be addressed to educate the majority how to make a sound decision to vote. Because they still use colors. This is a blue paper, vote for the blue, vote for the red. And this is a very important subject to address. The second thing, when it comes to the media, I think most of the people in the world do not trust the media. There is no trust, even you can see today in the elections in USA. When you watch the debate yesterday, it's a great importance to understand that most of the people, when you follow up with the different sources, do not trust the media. The social media, for me, it's a lot of time is gossip. As the young lady stated, there is no fact-driven to believe in such thing. So right now, you as reporters, it is your duty and responsibility to build a trust between you and the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other questions before I close the floor? Please go ahead, Mr.
Just a very brief comment, because what I heard from my colleague Tijjini regarding the use of the social media for political campaigns in Morocco just proves what we've been saying before in the earlier panel. Also, every time I see Moroccan women taking the center stage, it makes me feel good, really, about Morocco.
Thank you very much.
And I wanted to say something about this because I'm glad that Mohammed Elhajjam, at last, he decided to honor some of you, or all of you. It's a pleasure, really, to see you, because I know Moroccan women, and sorry, guys, Alami and Tijjini and Mohammed Elhajjam and Hassan, everybody, Moroccan men are here. But Moroccan women are the driving force behind progress in Morocco, and I can testify to that from what I saw myself in Morocco. My question to Fawzia, because she was brave and really and courageous to speak in English, and to all of you, actually. How come, after so many years of progress in Morocco and the strides made in the political arena, we still have more Salafis, perhaps, in the political, they're active in the elections as candidates, probably more than women. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So one last question, because I would like to actually give the floor to the panelists to make sure that they respond to your questions. And also you can go have a break and network. Go ahead.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Thank you for your coming from Morocco, Mr. Tijjani. Thank you for everybody. Mr. Elhajjam, thank you for hosting this media. Thank you very much. I have two questions, actually. The first one is, we saw a lot of protesters in Morocco last 2 weeks. They came to the street and they're protesting with the party bomb. It was kind of really shocking for all Moroccans abroad to see Moroccans that have no knowledge, or, I mean, it was really shocking. It was really, I would say, shameful for all Moroccans abroad. People, they don't have no idea what they're talking about. By the way, I don't have no party in Morocco. I don't follow no party in Morocco. But what we saw, that actually they're followers for the PAM, and they're talking about different, they don't know what they are in the street to begin with. So my question is, what is the role here for media to educate people, at least the basics of what the party or what politics mean? When you go to the street, what the basics, you have to know to go outside and protest. My second question is for Mohammed Tijjani. He said that the PJD is the best in social media, and I just want to know why. Because we have a lot of parties, I would say, they have the same power as PJD, but why PJD is the best in social media in Morocco? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I will conclude with this set of questions. Please, I would like for you to provide a response, but if it can be brief to the point, that would be great. And if we are missing anything, we can continue over coffee. So thank you very much again. Go ahead. Yes, Ms. Fawzia. Yeah. There is another one here as well.
Thank you, Mr. Dorachat, for this question. I would like to start about the context, actual context in Morocco. As you know, I would like to make one remark to you. It's just because I don't understand. You say that the political now communicate through Facebook in Darija, we're in Qshaba. Okay, we can communicate with Darija, but we have Darija, we don't have Souq. Because now we communicate with Darija, very low Darija. That usually, I am shocked about that. And you think, because we are in another generation, our generation is not yours. But usually when I see political men who is talk in very souk, because I don't know what word I can use, it's still shocking me because he's a leader. Street talker. He's a leader. He have image, and he has mission to educate generation. He could not educate generation if, in the street talk and wearing jilaba. No, I'm so sorry. This is for. No, I am not. Yes.
This is how things are going on.
Okay.
This is how you know it's a great panel when people disagree.
No, that's just I want to make this because. In our generation, and they are professor here, that I respect you. You was an image for me when I was student at the journalist. I was usually, I know you, I remember you, that I have some journalists that I was, for me, this is my ideal, my leaders, and I was looking for the information, I was looking for, and I am shocking now when I see journalists in using very, very low language and very, really, we lost ideology and we lost value. And they take that ideology, value, and now we have very big problem in Moroccan society is education. That it gives the way to the Salafists. For me, this is the response for your question. Because we lost ideology, we lost value, we don't have education. Before we have something, we have a reference. We have Qarawiyyin, for example. It was our reference in religion. So our family educates us. Our family educates us with some value even in religion. My father still now, I am educated in family who my father still now, الصبح كيقرا حزب وفي الليل كيقرا حزب. My father was my coach for swimming because I was champion of swimming in Morocco, and my coach was my father. He doesn't Salafist. So just to give you an example, but the problem is the problem of education.
So, Ms. Fawzia, I said thank you very much. We don't really have much time, but I would like to give half a minute to each one of you to comment.
I have to do it very quickly. Okay, I want to address the problem of the February 20. As far as I know, and I can ask any journalist here if they know better, do we have any journalists in jail today in Morocco? I don't believe so. So there is some misinformation somewhere that you are mentioning. The demonstration from the movement of the 20th February was peaceful sometime and was not so peaceful some other times. And they were actually very destructive. And the reaction of the local government at that time reacted the way probably better than what an American government would have reacted.
At the actual, the current press code, there is no peine privative de liberté. You know, no one can go to jail by the law and by the press code. So I'm here to defend the fact that things are changing in Morocco, and I'm proud to say that, sir. We gain freedom of expression in Morocco. Nowadays, we can criticize a lot of established facts that no one could in the last 20 years. Things are changing. Maybe it is not changing as fast as you would like to, as fast as I would like to, but we are facing a lot of challenges in Morocco. We are not US. We are not a big country with lots of resources. We are doing the best we can in a very difficult moment and in a very difficult neighborhood. We are facing terrorism every day. In Morocco last year, I guess if I'm not wrong, police and security agency stopped about 190 terrorist cells. That's too much. But I live in Morocco, and I can go to the beach, I can go to a restaurant, I can walk, just take a walk on the street if I want. If I want to go to, there's no problem, you know, I can go wherever I want. You are describing something that I'm not living overseas. So this is what I talk about when I say that there is a tiny limit or barrier between the truth and defamation. And that's what you should be aware of. So always look for the truth, seek for the truth, and seek for the reality.
Thank you, Yasmine. I would like to provide an opportunity for Hanane, please. And we will
quickly make some remarks regarding the freedom of the press or expression in Morocco before I address the issue of the community. It goes without saying that the Constitution is clear about this. It grants Moroccans freedom of expression, the right to do that, etc. It's also true that the press code that was passed recently by the parliament also acknowledges this, and also it has assured that there is no criminal charges against journalists. However, and it is still pending because the penal code has not, because it has, there are some in the current draft that is in the parliament, journalists can be pursued under criminal charges with the penal code, and this is a great concern that was expressed by many journalists in Morocco, prominent journalists, professional journalists in Morocco. It was a concern. Hopefully, the penal code will address this so that journalists can exercise freedom of expression. And also, while there is no journalist in prison now, but there are many journalists, at least 3 to my knowledge, that are still with pending trials. Going back to your question about how the community can engage.
There's a lot of false information, daily false information, rumors, lying, accusing some people without any fact. And it is our media in Morocco now. It doesn't help the evolution of democracy in Morocco. And we need, our media need to be educated, and it's very important. It doesn't help the women's rights and the women's movement and the political parties. So it is my heart. I swear it's the first time I speak English more than 30 seconds.